We discovered a little bit late into the stream there's been another patch. I have taken maybe 4 days off, so we're going to take a look at these patch notes together. I'm going to give my thoughts. We are in top ace right now. I'm kind of skirting right towards the bottom, trying some different unit compositions. But let's see what these changes are. I'm curious what direction they're going to take the game in. Bomber prioritizes tier 1 units. Change to not attack or damage durable units. So Bomber is one of the units that if you blow up against, say, like units like the Crusaders, you may have lost the game. They do quite little against, they just do quite little against non-tier 1 or non-small units. Therefore, we wanted to try these two changes to help with the general use case of bombers so that they're much better than now, even if you don't spend time separately controlling each bomber you build. Okay. I haven't really messed with the bomber. I've maybe used it in 2 of my games. I don't think it would be bad. I think they very badly want this unit to be used more, excuse me. And so far it has not. I don't encounter it much online. We're in top ace and I don't see many people, if ever, using it. So we'll see if it gets more usage here with this. I'm a little bit interested with the, you know, the idea that they will always default prioritize one unit over another. I do feel like you should have some micro, but then again, for the fast pacedness of the game, kinda makes sense. It says this was the main way we could quickly test this change, and we will work on doing a proper solve post this phase of CBT if needed. But any feedback around this change after you played with it would be greatly welcome. Okay, cool. I think this is probably the best time to try this kind of stuff out and see how it changes the game. The Valkyrie, range decreased by 16.7%. Damage against ground decreased by 35%. So damage against air is unchanged. This unit was just a bit too all-round due to fast speed and range. So we wanted to try a range reduction. On top of that, their recycle of being able to fight ground units felt a bit too good as well. So we wanted to try a damage reduction against ground units so that this unit can be focused more on dealing with air. I actually didn't realize they could attack ground. I've only made this unit a couple times. It does seem like it's a little bit tricky to get to tier 3 air in a lot of the games. I've been leaning a little bit more towards air tech lately, but I think that's a perfectly fine change. Airship damage against ground decreased by 35%. Wow, okay, damage against durable air units decreased by 29.3. Similar reasoning as above against ground units. We also felt that the tier 2 anti-air options are a bit too all-round, often preventing air units from entering play. I totally agree with this. So we wanted to try a change where durable air units can counter the tier 2 anti-air units. Okay, I think that's great, because I often felt like the airship just basically muted anybody's ability to stay in air, and it felt like it had to be in every deck. So that's a very welcome change. Heavy Hunter, damage against durable air units decreased by 46.7%. Similar reasoning as above versus durable air units. The Predator, splash damage has been removed. What is the Predator? Some mortar looking kind of thing. Why do I not know what this unit is? I feel like I should know all the units, but there's just a couple I really haven't messed around with. No, it's this thing. Predator, anti-air splash ground unit. Okay, got it. Single target damage versus air, as well as durable air reworked. So splash damage has been removed. This was a test we wanted to do before the beta ends. We wanted to test a more single target based slow ground to air unit that at the advanced foundry, and decided to use the Predator to do this with. Depending on how this test goes, we'll see what happens going forward. So Predators should be a high single target versus air type unit instead. Now, I don't know how I skipped the Kraken. I'm so sorry about that, guys. That's like right at the top. Kraken. We wanted to try pushing this unit so that at least for cost, it beats everything except specialized counters like Predator and Valkyries. The thought here was, even if there are only 2 unit counters, having to save up 3,000 is a big difficulty in using this unit, so we wanted to test these numbers to see where the Kraken lands. It does feel like you could have a game where you could just, especially for these people that are taking 4 bases and kind of not engaging with you, that you could go on 3 bases and maybe tech into Kraken, maybe push that way. Back to where we left off. Wasp. damage against workers decreased by 16.7. Interesting. I didn't feel like the Wasp killed workers that fast. We agree with the feedback that Wasps are I feel like as this game has come out, I've discovered I have some kind of adult learning disability with saying the plural version of wasp. We agree with the feedback that wasps are a bit too all-round at the moment. We wanted to try a damage reduction against workers first to see where they land and go from there. It seems like wasps have a lot of utility really early on. I do feel like there is a huge drop-off in what you can do with them as the game goes on, where it does feel like crabs and scorpions, everything else has a little bit more utility, but I guess a lot of people are also just getting abused early on. And I guess the reality is a lot of people are probably just dying to wasp rushes that are new to the game. It's kind of like the 4 pool or the 6 pool, and when the StarCrafts each came out, it's just like it's a really tough thing to deal with. Scorpion. Okay, so this is my unit. Scorpion's health increased by 7.7%. Scorpions looked to be slightly underperforming compared to other tier 1 options, so we wanted to try a small health increase. I find that interesting because I felt like they were pretty good at high levels, and I see them a lot. They're fast, they don't take up as much room, so you can get a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like they're good. But, I mean, that's a welcome change just because I'll be able to use them. Missile Bot. Damage against air decreased by 6.25%. This one is more of a fine-tuning change. They were slightly too good versus air. I did find missile bots just always beat everything that ever came to me air-wise. I could have like 8 of them and stop almost anything. Recall Hunter, damage against air decreased by 5%. Fine-tuning one. War credits. Earning rate increased. We wanted to reiterate that both the previous version as well as this version are both temporary, and we eventually want to be more in line with other games of this type of earning war credits through daily, weekly, seasonally plays. The main reason for this big increase coming in next Monday was for this. For the final week of this phase of beta testing, we wanted to focus a bit more on most or all units unlocked for enough players in the beta to get more unit testing, and especially for the final weekend of this phase of the beta. Yeah, I think that's good. They unlocked everything for me. I'm an out-of-touch streamer, but I imagine it makes more sense to at least let the players who are in the beta kind of earn all the units so they can get a feel for it. Because the reality is, if you make it hard and you have to grind right now in the beta, you don't really know which units are actually going to be the best. Streams like this and other streams are going to have way too much impact on the units people select and buy. And it's possible there's just units and compositions that are not being used because right now, you know, the game's so new and a lot of people are kind of copying what other players are doing. And yeah, I think that's cool. Okay, cool. Very cool to see Battle Aces is continuing to work on their game. Thank you so much for joining me for that little beta test. I'll be streaming this game all through the week. So you can join me on my Twitch stream at Tasteless TV on Twitch. Our merch site's up. There's a Tasteosha shirt you can get. Check it out at tastelessthreads.com. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in a future video. Bye-bye.